What's up, my Planet Coaster friends out there? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another episode here in Kings Falls today. So I decided to go back into Kings Falls because there's something I wanted to build kind of special. We do have the Planet Zoo beta starts this coming week, and I thought this would be a great time to kind of jump in and build a new safari. So back in the 70s and 80s of Kings Island and Kings Dominion, both of the parks had an attraction that was kind of like a zoo kind of thing, where you would board a monorail and go through all of these different animal habitats, very much savannah-like, lots of savannah type of zoo animals. It was a pretty neat little attraction, actually, and you know, I always told myself I would never ever use the monorail. Like, I never had a reason for it. But I actually have a reason for it now, because, you know, looking back in history and seeing this, and I thought, you know, so this was something that I intended to do. This isn't something I'm just adding in just because Planet Zoo is coming out. I intended to do this anyway, because this is an attraction that I actually quite miss a bit from Kings Island. It's no longer there. They took it out in like the mid 80s, I believe it was, maybe early 90s. I can't remember exactly what year it left the park, but they did take it out, and this is now in the location where Son of Beast was built, and eventually Banshee. But yeah, it was kind of a whole thing, and I rode it a couple of times in my childhood when I was there, and it was a whole lot of fun to just kind of get on this monorail, which was air conditioned, may I add, and go around. I think it was like 200 plus acres of land of just seeing animals and stuff like that. So I don't recall ever actually going to a zoo personally, like ever. I think I may have like a couple of times, but I can't remember specifically anything like that, which is really weird because I can remember going and seeing Star Wars when I was, I mean, I had to be like 3 when that movie came out, but I remember seeing Star Wars when it actually came out in theaters, but I don't ever remember going to a zoo, but I'm pretty sure I did. But anyway, I definitely remember riding the monorail at Kings Island. That's something for sure I do. And it was just, it's a whole lot of fun to just kind of go around and seeing all the animals and stuff, especially when you're like, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, something like that. It was kind of neat. You know, I wasn't the type when I was really young like that. In fact, I was in high school before I ever rode my first coaster with a loop on it, which was King Cobra, which just happened to be right next to the monorail. But yeah, so I wasn't a big coaster rider when I was really young, and I didn't ride anything with a loop. I rode like other stuff, but nothing with a loop. And like I said, my first looped coaster was King Cobra, which is why that coaster will always have a special place in my heart. And you guys will see a tribute to that coming up in this park as well. Eventually, we're kind of working in that area. But today, what I want to do is, since I've been sick for like the past week, I haven't streamed hardly at all. I think Tuesday was the last day that I actually streamed online on Twitch. So Wednesday night is usually the day that I stream Planet Coaster and kind of build something, and it's usually the start of whatever video I'm going to do that weekend. But I didn't do that, so I've been really sick. It's a cold, but it's a bad cold. I don't even really feel like talking right now, so, but I'm powering through it because I wanted to get at least one video out to you guys this weekend, and I know most of you guys come to my channel for Planet Coaster, so that's the one I wanted to get. And like I said, I wanted to do this kind of special because we got the Planet Zoo beta coming out, which I will be streaming on Tuesday. If you guys want to tune in to my Twitch channel, I will be streaming the beta for Planet Zoo pretty much most all day on Tuesday, and you know, be playing around with that. We'll see how it is and stuff, but because of that, I thought this would be the perfect time to go into the back of the park and kind of redo a few things and work from this. So I know I'm not really talking about what I'm doing in the video at all right now, but I'm just kind of rambling because I've got like 15 minutes here or so to kind of waste and talk. But what I'm doing today is I'm building the monorail station. So like I said, this is going to be a monorail that's going to go through a different kind of, go through a bunch of land, and we're going to take some of these. There's a bunch of really nice like scenery and animals and stuff that's been put on the Theme Maker's Toolkit items on the workshop, which we can use. I haven't looked to see if there's lions, but I know I'm pretty sure I've seen zebras and some other stuff on there, maybe some hippos and other things. So we're going to take some of those and we're going to build our own kind of like little habitat and stuff in there, and kind of go from there. But the main piece that I wanted to do today was the station itself, and kind of get this kind of figured out where it's going to be and kind of get that working for you. So I had to take a big, long, hard look at the actual park itself. I've spent 2 or 3 days just kind of looking at the park and thinking about it and thinking, how am I going to do this? Because I wasn't happy with the layout that I kind of had of the park. And so I've changed some things, which you guys may have noticed at the very beginning, but it depends on how much you actually know of the park. If you watch my video, if you watch my streams, then you kind of got an idea of what the layout for the park is, but no longer, it's changed. So, and we'll get into that as we start to explore some of the other areas and stuff in the future videos. But you know, mostly today's video is just about what you're seeing on the screen right now, which is this this monorail station. So this is a very, very simple station. There's not a whole lot to it. I started off with building a basic design using the roofs and stuff, and then I went over the top peak roof, the middle roof, like the biggest, steepest roof of it, with thatch pieces to kind of cover it with that. And then I just copied it to make it just like one big area. So. And then I'm kind of enclosing the back of it here because I wanted kind of a wiring queue, maybe kind of an air-conditioned ride. Because this is, in reality, this was about a 20-minute ride. And it was actually an upcharge ride, too, which we'll probably do in the park as well. We'll probably charge like $2 or $3 for our guests to ride this and go see the animals and stuff. But in reality, I think it was like $3 to ride it, and it's about a 20-minute ride all the way around. I don't know how fast it went or anything, but I've slowed the monorail down some. Obviously, we don't have the same acreage on this one that we did, and I did kind of a layout, as you saw in the beginning there, of what the layout for our monorail is going to be. And that could change later on as we start actually doing the animals and stuff in there, which will be the next video. But today I just kind of wanted to get a start on this and kind of go in there. Kind of like I said, it's just a special tribute to Planet Zoo while playing Planet Coaster. And then we also have some other surprises that are going to be in this area. So the main themes, I've been asked a couple of questions. What areas and stuff am I going to do in Kings Falls, and et cetera, like that. So we have International Street, obviously, which is based on both Kings Island and Kings Dominion, both. And Kings Dominion and Canada Wonderland both have the same main street, so not a big thing there. And then from there, we just kind of went off on our own. We've got a few things that are kind of based upon different parks and stuff, but it's mostly kind of my own ideas. We've got kind of this Bavarian kind of German Fest kind of area over to the left-hand side as you enter. And then we've got like a Spanish area on the right side where El Diablo is, our aero coaster. And then kind of the middle area where the Eiffel Tower is, that's going to be kind of just like, well, the middle area. It doesn't really have any kind of specific theme to it. And then in the back we had what I was calling at the time Riverwalk, which was going to be our Coney Mall. If you're familiar with Kings Island, you would know what Coney Mall is. Coney Mall is where the racer is, and it's where all the flats and stuff kind of run up. It's basically a midway. Think of it like that. So our midway was going to be Riverwalk, and I think it's still going to be called Riverwalk, but it's changed. So it's no longer in the back of the park, and it's now kind of right up near the Eiffel Tower, kind of over to the side. We're also going to have a frontier section, almost like a western section, most likely very similar to Rivertown in Kings Island. And then I'm doing, as you can see here, we're doing a safari area as well, which is going to be very much like Kings Dominion's safari area. And this is where we're going to put, maybe 1 or 2 coasters over in this area as well. It's not just going to be just the monorail. It's going to have a few other things in there as well. I've also added an amphitheater to the park too, but I'll talk about that a little later on when we get to it. I really just kind of want to finish up this area back in here and kind of get this going. But like I said, before I could even start on the monorail, I really needed to kind of nail down the placement for it, where it was going to be, and all that. So like I said, I took a long, hard look at the park, and I was just like, yeah, this ain't working for me. So I started messing around, and I think I finally found a layout that actually works, and that's pretty much what you saw at the beginning of the video. If you guys want to zoom all the way back into the very beginning of the video and check out that, maybe pause it, you can kind of see mostly a layout of it. So what am I doing right now is, you probably saw me doing this maybe a little earlier, but I'm trying to get this kind of leveling out the land and kind of slant it and angle it so that it's kind of going there. So the original Lion Country Safari at Kings Island had it where you went, the exit was in the front of the building, the entrance was at the back. So you actually walked down a path that went underneath of the rails, and then around to the back of the building where you entered in from there. So I kind of am doing about the same thing here, and I'm going to have to take out pieces of the monorail to get it to go underneath there. And I put it back here, and then I looked at it and I started messing around with it. I started to place the fence, and I was like, wait a minute, no, I need a thinner path. So I had to delete it again, as you can see here, and kind of redo it a little bit, and then go back in. And then once I do this, I realize, oh shoot, there's another mistake. So I had to take it out once again because I didn't flatten out and smooth the area right there. So, but anyway, I get it fixed. But if you've ever had to do this and ever tried to like level a path that's sloped, it's really hard. Like, there's a tool that you can use to do it, like a sloping tool, but it's really hard to get the right angle. I always end up having it too steep or not steep enough, and then trying to smooth it out and everything. It's never perfect, but I try to do the best I can. I know some people have asked me, are there any tips or tricks on doing this? And there's really not. You just kind of have to mess with it until you get it right. Patience is a virtue when it comes to anything in Planet Coaster. That's the biggest tip I always provide to everybody. We get a lot of questions like that on YouTube, on my Twitch channel. It's like, you know, what's your biggest tip for somebody who's just starting to play the game? Be patient with the game, because the game doesn't really like you. Just plain as simple as that. It's a tough game to kind of get the hang of, to build like expertly and to do these master builds and stuff like that. It's very, very hard. So you really had to kind of take your time. If you try to rush it, if you just want to rush through it, you're not going to get anything that's going to look really that great. But if you take your time, if you have something in your head about kind of an idea of what you want it to look like, then make it look like that. Don't give up, because, you know, fight the game and get it to do what you want it to do. So, yeah, like I said in the very kind of the middle of this video, this particular section that I'm building isn't the prettiest right now. It's fairly empty, and there's not a whole lot there. But I was looking back at like photos and stuff of the area, of the Lion Country Safari area at Kings Island, and it was pretty sparse too. There wasn't a whole lot there either. I think there was like a restaurant, maybe some other stuff, so we'll probably put a few things like that in there. So I'm just trying to like kind of fix the area around the entrance here a little bit. Obviously we'll keep working on this after the video and stuff, and kind of work on a few other things. Hopefully you guys enjoy this video, because I know a lot of people have been asking for time-lapse videos again, and right now the reason I haven't been doing time-lapse videos is because ever since I got my 4K monitor, the game looks so good in 4K. However, my video card can't really handle it that well, and streaming too. So whenever I'm streaming, like the game itself is taking so much power to of my video card to actually like play the game, and then OBS is like, oh hey, OBS, for those who don't know, is the thing that you use to stream with. It's the free version. Some people use other software, but OBS is free. But anyway, OBS is just like, hey, can I get a little bit of that graphics power, yo? And the game is like, no, get lost. So it doesn't really like me to record separately, stream, and play the game all three at the same time. So it's a huge problem. But that's why I haven't been doing time-lapse videos, because the only time I have to really play anymore is usually when I'm streaming. And, you know, I don't really play a lot in like off camera. So I do sometimes just because I need to finish up some stuff, but a lot of my stuff is usually done during my streams, my live streams. And then that's why I've been kind of showing off stuff here recently from my parks. Instead of doing a time-lapse builds, I've just been kind of doing just like, we're just going to show some stuff off today. So, and I've been getting a lot of questions. I know some of you prefer that out there. And some of you don't. Some of you prefer the time-lapse build. So, hey, here's that time-lapse build for you. I don't know if this will be the only one for a while, but it is the one that we got for you today. Since I've been sick this week and I didn't stream, I still want to do this. And I thought, well, we'll do a time-lapse video of me just building this station. So, again, station's not much yet, but if you guys know anything about me, if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that everything I do comes out looking fantastic. So, this will, by the time I'm done, this will look really, really good. The next step is we're going to go back and we're going to start putting animals and stuff in there and doing the different habitats, doing our savanna, and doing the actual monorail ride. That will be the next step, which will be the next video. So, thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for listening to me. For those who stuck around for the entire thing, for those who are actually got the audio on, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I will see you Tuesday. And we'll be playing some Planet Zoo on Tuesday. I don't know if I'm going to stream Monday just yet, because Monday, I actually start my new job on Monday. So, don't know if I'll stream on Monday or not. We'll see. But Tuesday, I will be online all day with Planet Zoo. So, until then, wherever you guys are in the world, thanks for watching. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. See you next video. What's up, everybody? Thank you for watching the video. If you haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button down below and click on the bell to stay on top of all my new videos and live streaming events here on YouTube. I also want to give a huge shout out to all the names you see on the right for their support through donations, Patreon, and through Twitch subs. If you would like to join their ranks and you are able, you can do so by clicking on any of those links in the video description down below. No worries though, if you don't like giving away money like that, you can still support the channel by purchasing games or anything through Greenman Gaming, through Humble Bundle, or through Amazon by clicking on my links and making your purchase. A little bit of that goes towards me to support the channel. If you still can't get enough of me, you can always check me out live on twitch.tv and stay up to date with me on Twitter as well. Now that's going to be it, but I can't say thank you enough for all your support here on the channel. Wherever you guys are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. See you later.